The streetlights flickered, casting long, dancing shadows that seemed to writhe and twist as I walked home. Unease prickled my skin, a low hum of apprehension that vibrated beneath my ribs. I quickened my pace, my heart thudding a frantic rhythm against my chest. It started subtly, a feeling of being watched, a breath on my neck that wasn't there. I glanced over my shoulder, but the street was deserted. Just empty houses, shrouded in the twilight gloom. Maybe it was just my imagination, I told myself, the product of a long day and a tired mind. But the feeling persisted, growing stronger with each step. I could feel eyes on me, following my every move, hot and heavy as a predator's gaze. The hairs on the back of my neck stood on end, sending shivers down my spine. My breath hitched in my throat, a silent scream trapped behind my teeth. I checked again, the street still empty except for the usual nocturnal creatures, scurrying rats and distant dogs barking in the night. The feeling intensified, no longer a whisper but a resounding shout of danger. My hand instinctively went to the pepper spray in my pocket, a small comfort in the vast expanse of fear that engulfed me. I looked around, scanning the shadows of the buildings, the parked cars, the overgrown bushes along the sidewalk. Nothing but the unsettling silence that pressed in on me from all sides. The feeling of being watched grew more intense, a palpable presence looming behind me. I started to run, my lungs burning, my legs screaming in protest, fueled by adrenaline and primal fear. The feeling increased dramatically. I could almost taste the fear. The shadows seemed to move faster, matching my speed, never losing ground. Panic choked me. Was this real? Or was I succumbing to the grip of a purely psychological terror? My mind raced, wrestling with the question of whether I was safe or not. The shadows played tricks on my eyes. Every rustle of leaves, every creak of a fence sounded like footsteps following close behind. My breath came in ragged gasps. Could I outrun a potential danger, or was it all in my head? The street seemed to stretch endlessly before me, the distance to my home feeling infinite, a cruel mockery of my desperate need for safety. My heart pounded like a drum solo, a deafening soundtrack to my terror. Every street corner seemed to present itself as an opportunity for hiding or for escape. I could not look back. My instincts screamed at me that it was real. I continued my frantic pace, tears stinging my eyes. A sudden flash of movement out of the corner of my eye. Another shadow, or perhaps just a trick of the light. I couldn't be sure. My mind played tricks on me. I stumbled, catching myself on a nearby fence. The pain brought a moment of clarity, a necessary distraction. I knew what I had to do. I looked back before continuing my run towards my apartment, sprinting as fast as my legs could carry me towards my front door. I fumbled with my keys, a shaky hand struggling against the lock. My apartment was my sanctuary, a place where I would finally be safe. The key turned and I bolted inside. I slammed and locked the door behind me, leaning against it, gasping for breath, my body trembling. I was finally safe. I stood there, paralyzed with the feeling. Finally able to catch my breath, I looked out the window. Nothing. The street was completely empty. The silence was deafening. I was finally safe, but I will never forget that walk home. Had I been followed, or was it just my imagination running wild? My mind was a battlefield of fear and rationality. Was this paranoia or a genuine brush with danger? The uncertainty lingered, a cold shadow clinging to the edges of my sanity. My heart still thrummed in my chest, like a wild bird trapped inside a cage. For the moment, I was safe. But that terrifying walk home would be forever seared into my memory. A question still remained. I had to know for sure. Perhaps it was all in my head. Perhaps it was something real. I still had no clear answer.